Be the hype man tonight.
Oh, are we on? What up, America? Marca?
What up, America?
That's cute.
What?
You're eating with the What up?
It was my gift. I don't know who got it, but thank you.
It was a mutual decision.
Amazing.
Me and our daughter.
And our daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's a miracle that I'm here right now because we legit just walked off the court of that basketball game.
The fat kid right here is excited. I got trolls.
I think I'm missing a stone in my ring. That's awesome. Yeah, so we just finished our basketball game.
Stand by.
Fourth game.
Hi, Uncle Jim. Got to do it in the escalated voice.
Can you do that one more time?
Hi, Uncle Jim.
We just got done with our basketball game and it was intense. It was so much fun. And my kid, we were like up by 35 points.
Stand by.
Sorry.
Please say hi.
Who was that?
Oh, we got love.
Yay.
Yay. Oh, we're going to go back to the Around the World clap.
Around the world.
Give us likes, hearts, tag people that you think might be interested in what we have to say. Give us the mad face. Let us know how you're feeling. If you like it, you love it, you hate it, what else? Just let us know.
Yeah.
But
oh yeah,
let's go back.
So my kid, we're up by 35 points or whatever the score was, and it was like a buzzer beater. And this dude sets up for a 3-point shot at the last second, and I'm like, dude, we're up by 35 points, and of course he makes it.
Which dude is this on your team?
My own son.
Jaden.
Yeah.
J-Dog.
So I'm like, that was the worst thing you could do when you're up by 35 points. You don't kill the team and make a 3-point shot at the buzzer.
Why not?
He was so excited, but I mean, it was a great shot. But I was like, we're teaching sportsmanship here.
But your team, but he's not rubbing it in their face. He just,
that is rubbing it in their face.
He did well.
35 points.
I say he gets an around the world clap for showing his extraordinary.
No. It was a good shot,
skills.
but no.
What's up, Joe? Thanks for joining.
What's up? So you have to excuse the hair I did tonight because I just got off the basketball court.
Coaching.
Yeah.
This is what she does. That's what makes her extraordinary.
Extraordinary life. Yeah, it was fun.
So tonight, we're going to talk about... Did we get it? Okay. Last week we talked about Michael Oliver.
Yeah.
I got the GoFundMe together. I've shared it quite a few times. This is the gentleman that we are supporting and trying to raise donations for to help him with his cancer. We are trying to raise donations for his treatment and improve his quality of life. So if you find it in your heart, if everyone we know would donate at least $5, we could meet our goal. And I know it sounds crazy, it's $15,000, but just think about if everybody you know donates $5, that's a lot of money. If you could just share it, if you can't donate, if you could just share it. If everybody could just share the story and take a minute just to read his story, it's amazing.
So after the show, I will share the link on my page, and I think if you share the link on your page, hopefully all of our viewers that are on tonight will make a donation and at least share it for us so that we can get him at least his first month, and that would be a huge help.
Absolutely, it would be a tremendous help. I mean, we're trying to help save this child's life. He's 17 years old.
It's sad. I mean, I have an almost 16-year-old, and I can't imagine him going through the same thing.
He's been going through this for years, and he's an incredible kid. He's changed his diet on his own, trying to grow wheatgrass in the kitchen. I've seen the plants, trying to help his own self so he can eat something natural and healthy. So
that's impressive.
Yeah. I mean, that's an extraordinary right there.
Yeah.
And if you have any questions, anything else that you'd like to find out about, please just call me or send me a private message.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about our goals this month.
Okay.
Okay. How we are going to transition to working out a little bit in the next couple of weeks.
Yep.
I, this week, have actually stepped up my working out routine, and I did 2 gym sessions. And what I mean by that is...
a day.
In one day.
Yeah.
It's not, I went back twice, but my gym it's called 9 rounds, and you go for each station, you go around the room. It's 3 minutes, you switch stations. So it's a good 30-minute workout, but I went twice because that was my goal this year. So I'm holding myself accountable to my fitness goals by making sure that I'm doing it. So I set it. I'm making sure I relay it to you. We're going to be doing our updated measurements and letting you know how we're doing.
Progress.
Yeah.
So it was 2 weeks ago today, I think, we took measurements, and we're working towards our own personal private goals. and we are going to hold ourselves accountable. We're accountability partners in this war against
unhealthiness.
Unhealthiness and fitness, and that's our mission this year, is to get healthy, get fit, and get rid of some negative vibes that might be floating
I want a
around in the
six-pack
air.
while I'm sitting here eating my sour crawlers.
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta indulge sometimes. If they're gonna bring it over to you, you might as well enjoy it.
That might give you some kick to do something afterwards. Maybe you can dance
kick?
off.
I need kick
I know.
because I'm not tired at all.
I'm struggling. I've been on this liquid diet thing for 2 weeks, or almost 4 weeks now. Legit. Maybe a couple of cheat days before I had my operation.
I think I would have killed somebody by now.
After that, I am struggling. Today, I am really hurting because I am ready to have nutrition in my body.
Hangry.
I'm hangry. I've been hangry for a couple of days now, but today is...
This is hangry.
Yeah.
This is hangry. What's up, Erica? Thanks for joining.
What's up?
Next, we're going to talk about real estate news. Can we get a drum roll? I'm working with a buyer this week who's working on purchasing an investment property. We had a little bit different scenario this time. They actually want to do the home inspection before we write the contract.
That's interesting.
It is interesting, which is different, but we got the okay to do it, and we're going to go for it. They wanted to see what the home inspector says because we were a little concerned they have some foundation problems. So we're going to check that out before. You know, you can think outside the box.
That's pretty smart, because if it is a major issue, they can decide they don't want to deal with it.
Or they can write a much lower offer. It's not standard by any means, but we're going to do it. Also working with a couple other buyers to get them pre-qualified and start the shopping process. So if you're ready to get going, let me know.
Do you have a private loan consultant that you work with?
I do have a loan officer that I work with regularly. I actually have... There's more than just one, but I have one that I pretty much send most of my business to because she has the most important loan with no money down.
Is that FHA?
It's an FHA product. It's the VHDA, which all loan officers cannot do. It's a Virginia-only loan, and it's a low money down or no money down type loan.
I didn't even know they were still doing that, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's a pretty awesome program. Lori said, that's my problem. I love food. Did you see, Lori, the tower of nachos that I shared? I have to have that.
So, can I just tell you, I am having melting pot withdrawals. I went to see my best friend last night, and she said that, or her husband reminded me about melting pot. And I was like, dude, as soon as I can actually eat food, I'm there. At some point. I might not have a whole pot of cheese. I might have one bite of cheese, but
Let's do it later this year.
Yeah.
Like further out.
June, but not Fredericksburg. We'll go up the road.
No, we can't do that one.
Yeah.
I want to jump to the book.
Okay.
I'm reading this book. It's pretty freaking awesome. It's called You Can Read Anyone. I know it's backwards on there. By David J. Lieberman, PhD. She's going to be a PhD soon. Just saying.
Hopefully next year.
This book pretty much, it covers a whole spectrum of things. It's like one of the best books I think I've ever read. It's a psychology book. It starts off by talking about how you can read people and if they're lying to you. Yeah. Like it gives you several techniques, and I wanted to kind of go over them. I know it's probably going to bore some people, but I'm kind of a nerd, so
we're both nerds. That's
what I do. But the first technique talks about, it's called the mind reader. Basically, it tells you how you can read someone. It's not by asking them a direct question, but ask them a question, a non-accusing question, engage their response. The two examples that I thought were really good was, one, if you're a sales manager and you notice that someone has been stealing supplies from the company, what you would ask would be, you wouldn't ask them, have you been stealing? Because obviously they're going to get defensive if you accuse them, and they're probably going to say no, you're not going to get what you want. But asking them a non-accusing question such as, I'm wondering if you could help me with something. It came to my attention that someone from the sales department has been taking home office supplies for personal use. Do you have any idea how we can put a stop to this? That's a simple question, taking the accusation away from the person that you're speaking with, and just watch how they respond.
And see if it stops, because then you know.
Well, I mean, it says basically, now watch their reaction. Basically watching their reaction in the moment, which it's not an email, it's not a text message. This is face-to-face interaction and learning how to deal with people. And If they become uneasy or seek to change the subject, you've got your answer. If they're comfortable and just pretty much approach it and tell you they have no idea, I mean, then you have your answer.
Interesting.
It's an indirect way of learning how to read people, and I love it. There's a couple other techniques, but I need to go handle my barkage right now.
Yeah. I think that goes hand in hand with what we talked about last week, though, with the art of war. Reading your opponent and understanding what like their thought process is and how to counteract whatever they have going on.
Oh, definitely.
We
got likes. Thank you.
So.
Well, I've got a sour crawler hanging out of my mouth. Well, the next one, technique 2, is called paging Dr. Bombay. This one says the technique presents the person with evenly available options. If his interest moves unevenly in one direction, it's likely that he has an awareness of certain information that has not been revealed. Let me go back a little bit. If you think someone knows someone or something specific, you would use the paging Dr. Bombay technique. It can be used to help find the truth. The technique works on a psychological principle. A person is drawn equally to what he has no prior knowledge of. Simply, if a person has never heard of Fred, Peter, or Marvin, his interest in them will be equal. Conversely, his attention will naturally be drawn to what he is most familiar with.
Interesting.
If he knows Marvin, but not the other two, he'll pay more attention when Marvin's name is mentioned. So you pretty much just focus on the one thing that if you want to find out if they know something or if they know Tiffany, I would mention 3 different people and see if they're naturally drawn to you and they're trying to avoid it. Yeah. Because I'm going to have to handle that. I'll be right back.
Well, that's a technique that I would say that they do during interrogations when they maybe try to question witnesses and put 3 people in a lineup. Maybe you can see their reactions that way.
Oh, yeah, we definitely can do it that way.
Especially if you already know who you think the suspect is and you give them cards.
I feel like these are detective techniques. I like reading stuff like this.
In my next life, I'm going to be a detective.
I'm going to be a lawyer. We're going to be detectives.
Yeah.
We could have an investigative service.
And then we'll be the judge.
We just created a whole system of government right there.
We did. We should call Donald Trump and get on that.
Yeah, let's create a new agency.
We can. He put a hiring freeze on the federal government, so we can branch off of the no hiring freeze and we can start our own thing.
Yeah, I think so. We've got a whole idea here. If you guys want to be a part of it, you let us know.
Write your congressman and tell them that we need to be judge, jury, and executioner.
Wait, no, you back up. We're going to be the investigators. We're going to be the crime scene detectives. We've got a whole gamut of possibilities.
I think so.
And I just want to say we are damn good at being lawyers.
Well, we are. Okay, so if there's ever anything that somebody wants to hide, we're going to find it.
For sure. Women are naturals.
We are natural-born hackers.
But we have a way of just finding information and associating things. It's just crazy.
And we will catch anybody in a lie.
I mean, the way that we can psychologize the shit out of people is amazing.
That's why we're extraordinaires. If you don't want somebody to know something, we were going to find it out.
The analysis is real. I mean, the conversations that we have when we discuss, well, if this situation were this, and this person wouldn't mention this if this were the case, and the fact that they went here means that they know something.
Or they're lying.
Right.
But I think that sometimes we do that without even having to talk. Because you can just look at, in my direction, we already know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say so. Okay, well, here's technique number 3, back to our psychology subject. The key is it's called What Do You Think? The key to this technique is not to accuse. Again, we are going back to the non-accusation, but to inform. Your subject's response will tell you if he's hiding anything. This sequence explores a person's frame of mind when he is presented with new information.
Yep.
For example, Pauline visits her doctor for a routine physical. When her doctor gets the blood test results back, he calls to inform her she has contracted the herpes virus. Thinking back over her recent sexual partners, this is PG, by the way.
13.
She's convinced that Mike or Howie must have given her the disease. Merely asking her 2 suspects if they knowingly gave her herpes would most likely prove futile, as denial both would be likely. So she calls both guys, casually informs them. The responses she receives leads her straight to her culprit. After hearing the news, the two men respond as follows. Mike says, well, don't look at me. I didn't give it to you. Howie says, you what? How long have you had it? You might have given it to me. Bam. We know that Mike is the culprit because he's automatically redirecting. No, he's redirecting it back to her. So I'd say that's a good technique. I like that one. We have
the non-accusatory thing is important because if you directly ask someone, even if you already know the answer, they automatically go defensive.
Oh, yeah, and they try to completely avoid bringing it back to them as well. Yeah. What's up, Chuck? What's up, Bernard? How are you guys doing tonight?
The redirection thing is a thing that drives me insane. Because especially when I know the person's lying and they're trying to forcibly redirect.
Project it right back.
It actually makes me laugh because then I know, hey, I got you.
Yeah. Got him. Pretty much. Dead.
We will find out every little thing.
All we have to do is watch carefully. It's like this.
Yeah, and we could be not even in the same time zone and we're still going to know what's going on. We don't even have to be in the same area or even look at each other. We already know.
We women know. We know what the effect is of.
What was that? Got him.
He said got him. Exactly.
That's right.
Technique 4, and I think we both have seen this one quite a few times. Dodge or declare.
Did you say affair?
No, I said dodge or declare. We've seen this quite a few times. When using this technique, the object is to attach your suspicion to something you know is true, that a person but not completely unrelated. If he tries to hide or deny the truth about what you know for sure, you have the answer. Yeah. However, if he freely acknowledges the existence of your claim but denies the relationship, then your suspicion is likely untrue. Let's take a look. Henry wonders if his date is an alcoholic. He already knows Elaine chews gum after her meals, a likely unrelated but certainly benign activity. Therefore, he would say something such as, I was reading a study that alcoholics tend to chew gum after meals, which is kind of funny. Now, if Elaine is an alcoholic, he will notice she will, in addition to becoming uncomfortable, probably choose not to chew gum after eating. You see, she will have no reason to deviate from her usual behavior unless she shows her as an hold on, let me go back.
Unless it shows
her in unflattering light. So she may choose not to, but that may
be uncomfortable.
But it doesn't necessarily mean she's definitely an alcoholic. But it's a possibility because she's like, well, it's a first date. Maybe she's getting to know him.
Especially if she starts fidgeting around afterwards, and it's kind of like you can tell something is missing for her. It wasn't me. Is that Shaggy?
That's Shaggy. That's definitely a Shaggy song.
Yeah, I actually like that song.
So, yeah, I would say you have a hit or miss with that one. It just depends on if you want to redirect.
What is that?
He said, what about smoking due to oral fixation, therefore chewing gum? That could be a possibility. You just threw a whole wrench in my psychology. But these are just different techniques to reading people and their bullshit.
Exactly.
So,
which the bottom line here is don't try the bullshit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because it's just, you're just going to get joked out of the place.
Yeah. There's another one, fear of folly, which is, there's 2 more techniques. But I actually wanted to touch on self-esteem too. I read this piece last night.
Can I say one thing about this? This is like another girl version of Think Like a Man.
Is it?
Yeah, they're telling you all the techniques to use.
But it's not about
a relationship
book. No, it's just a psychology book. It talks about the self-esteem and high ego, and if you I got my BS degree. Oh, okay.
In psychology?
Were you saying you got your BS degree, or are you saying you got your bachelor's degree? Because we need to know if you're bullshit or if you're bachelor's.
If you're a nerd like we are.
But it talks about the difference in low self-esteem and high ego and low self-esteem. They said that the dangerous combination is having low self-esteem with a high ego because you're very arrogant, you're on the border of being violent, and the way people treat others, possessive, violent, arrogant, you just down talk others, and
I've actually noticed
treat them like
at least
crap.
one in particular person like that.
He says, I got my BS degree, but shit degree. Bullshit degree. That's right. Ego, super ego, and IB.
That's the id.
Id.
Where's your psychology?
I don't know. But this book talks about a whole bunch of stuff. It talks about self-esteem, ego. It talks about the primary and secondary colors of self-esteem, which is really interesting, and how...
I got you, Chuck.
My bad. I'm going to
spoil psychology when we get out of here.
What was? Explain it to me real quick.
It's the ego, superego, and the id. It's
I don't know. I don't
three
remember
facets of the self. We're gonna look that up.
We are going to touch on that next time, because now I have to make sure that I know what the effect is going on.
I'm gonna hook her up, Chuck.
Here we go. The primary colors and the 3 primary and 4 secondary factors, basically, of self-esteem and ego, and how you view yourself. There's actually red flags indicating potential violence.
I needed that at about 2007, 8, 9, 10, and 11.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I needed those red flaggers.
The red flaggers. Does he overreact to little things and assume a personal motivation? Does he tend to use force or violence in an attempt to resolve challenges?
Interesting.
Has he ever been abused? How does he talk about his childhood parents, siblings, other relatives, childhood friends, and so on? Is he cruel to animals? Does he drink excessively? I'll make a guest appearance and educate you. Thanks. Definitely. Good night. Please do make a guest appearance. That would be a good conversation. Red flags in romantic casual encounters. Jealousy may be sweet, but too much is poison. Are you scared in any way? Watch out for a two-faced person. Verbally abusive? Duh.
Verbal abuse always escalates. And I swear to goodness, I know the whole world is talking about this, but Donald Trump has got to be a verbal abuser. Have you seen the videos with his wife where she's like...
I do not participate in political conversations.
I understand, but all of America has seen this, and I feel terrible for his wife. You're going to have to watch some videos. You can see, I have been in that situation, and I know what that face is. You'll have to look at the videos.
I try not to look at him.
And this is not about politics. It's just about a woman that I feel needs to get out of her relationship.
So now you are
advising
free
Melania.
Melania, is that her name?
Get her
I
out
don't
of
even know
there.
her name. But yeah, this is a really good book. I highly recommend reading this book. I just got it the other day. I have 2 more books to go. Really good.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I could sit down and read that whole book in a night.
Actually, I'm nearly done, and I just got it.
Yeah.
I pretty much spent the whole morning the other day just reading it.
Good tactics.
Yeah. Then we were going to talk about using restraint and being determined and persistent. And basically, I call myself a PIA. I'm a pain in the ass. I'm determined. No is just another... To me, no is another term for who do I need to speak with next because you can't solve my problem.
That's exactly what it is.
It doesn't mean no. It just means next.
Next.
Who's next? Because you're not it.
Yep. And it worked. Every time this week that we had that NO word that we don't use in our vocabulary.
I mean, all the truly successful people don't understand what no means.
There's always a way to work around it.
Always.
We like to say in the extraordinary world, we just need to get to yes.
Yeah, who's got my yes? Just like Grant Cardone says, who's got my money? I'm like, who's got my yes? Because I don't need to talk to you if you're going to tell me no. You are not my person.
We don't say that word. It's NO. We just don't say...
I don't even know what that means.
Okay, good. Very good.
I'm sorry, what? What language are you speaking? Because that doesn't...
That
doesn't pertain to me.
Mm-mm.
That might be you. That means go sit down. But for me, that just means moving on. Next. I think that's it.
Can we recap that one more time that we want to see if our viewers can help us out with Michael's campaign?
Yes,
and
please.
Just close out on that. It's really, really important. If you guys can take anything away from us tonight, please share the link for Michael's campaign. And if you find in your heart to donate, he really needs help to get his first month's medication started.
$5 from everybody would mean we meet our goal. And that's a big goal. That means he can have a better quality of life. He can possibly begin his healing process, and it would just be an amazing donation that you guys could give to us. Like, really, we're really trying to help this young man out. He really needs our help.
So that said, America, until next time, right?
Yes, thank you, America. We really appreciate the fact that you guys sit with us every week and watch our show.
Good night.
Night. See you next week.